Greetings and welcome to another episode of Cosmic Kev 100. I am Cosmic Kev. Ooh, a few ohms, a few om gam ganapatiye namaha, the prayer for the planets, and then we will get on with this. Om, 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 Om gam ganapatiye namaha, Om gam ganapatiye namaha. Om Gam Ganapatiye Namaha, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Brahma Miras Triparan Takare, Banu Shashi Bamisato, Buddha Shah Guru Shah Shukra, Shani Rahu Keteva, Sarve Graha Shantikara Bhavantu, Om Gurave Namaha. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Tat Sat. Well, I am Cosmic Kev, aka Kevin Durkin, and I'm your astrologer with your weekly forecast. This one is for May 30th through June 6th, 2025. So it's for Friday. And what do we got going on today? Well, the moon is in the constellation of Cancer in both systems, no matter how we slice it. So that is a lunar mansion in Vedic astrology known as Punavarsu. Punavarsu is the quiver that we keep arrows, or it's the bow in which we launch arrows out. And I know it sounds a lot like Sagittarius or something in Western astrology, but the lunar mansions, there's 27 of them, and there's about 13.20 degrees to each one of these, and they encompass the 12 signs of the zodiac, and basically they're older than the 12 signs of the zodiac. So Punavarsu is supposedly ruled by a goddess named Aditi. It's a Jupiter-ruled nakshatra. 3/4 of it's in Gemini, 1/4 of it is in Cancer, and today we're in the Cancer portion of it. In fact, Cancer is going to dominate this weekend in Vedic astrology, whereas in Western astrology, the moon will be in Leo at 1:20. But back to Vedic astrology, and the moon being in Cancer and the sun still in Taurus this week in the sidereal zodiac, so which is more astronomically correct, the way astronomy works. And Western astrology, the tropics set everything by seasons versus where the constellations are, so you can understand the difference. So all the nakshatras that are 3/4 air, 1/4 water are ruled by Jupiter, Lord Brisapati in Vedic astrology. And Jupiter teaches a spiritual truth and expansion. Of course, Punavarsu, because of the association with archery, the quiver for the arrows. The quiver is an abode for arrows. It's literally like a home. And Punavarsu people love to take vacations. They love to go places. You might be going someplace this weekend. And the arrow can be used over again and be returned to its quiver. Also, the bow is that tension that we have to have before we release what our goal is. And so we're looking for something. And we're having that tension of that release. It's interesting how the nakshatras dealing with Gemini, like Mrigashira, not so much Ardura, but also Punavarsu, also deal with deer or hunting in some way. There's this thing about the hunt, and so I find that fascinating. Now, in Western astrology, we've got a moon in Cancer going into Leo today. So Leo moon, we tend to do things with a lot of flair, a lot of fashion. In Vedic tomorrow, the part of Cancer is going to be Pushyama, which is considered the best nakshatra. So it's going to be a really good, super good Saturday. And Sunday, it'll be in Ashlesha, which is, it's a little more seductive, and it's about release before we get to a whole new thing when moon goes into Western Virgo or into Vedic Leo and the Maga Nakshatra, and then we just kind of responsibly move on forward with our stuff. So I'm going to just go sign by sign about the horoscope this week. Now, one of the things I noticed in Western astrology is that Venus is moving into actual Taurus on Thursday night at 9:43 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. So Venus moving into Taurus will add a lot of sensual pleasure and make relationships a little more mutual and a little sweeter, I think. So we're going to just go right now. The other thing that's interesting too is that Saturn just moved into Aries. So we're sort of finishing off this 30-year cycle. And Neptune just moved into Aries. And so we've got these two formidable outer planets, and Venus is still there in Aries. And so there is this sort of thing of like, for Aries, so let's just go right now. Greetings, Aries. Welcome to your horoscope. There was a lot of deaths this spring, and now there's a lot of births. There's a lot of life, and you're kind of like the sign of birth because of like the Bharani Nakshatra and all that stuff. And birthing is happening. And so we've got Neptune, Venus, Saturn all in Aries. So this could be a new start to your love life, but more than anything, I think because Neptune and Saturn are actually really close together, we need to focus on a spiritual discipline. That's why I do meditation, mantras, prayers, having a routine where we're grateful to God is going to make a difference, or the Creator, however you look at that. Some people call it source energy. I don't have that much of a problem with titles. I think it's always, from what I understand, it's the position of your heart that makes a big difference. And so having that sense of gratitude and humility is going to go a long way. I mean, we're still kind of like in this, what I call Kalsarpa yoga. All the planets are sort of locked into one side of the chart. So it's hard to see what's going on here with everything over here. And this has definitely been a problem that comes on and off astrologically, and it's been more so in like the last 5 or 6 years. So for you, because we're in Gemini time, it's about siblings, it's about writing, it's about your neighborhood, it's about the environment. Keep a journal, keep it going, keep it real, Aries. We need you right now. All right. Greetings, Taurus. Welcome to your horoscope. This is a little different here. So Mercury is about to, has just moved into Gemini. And Jupiter's there too, and so is the Sun. And so with Jupiter and Mercury, you've got the student and the teacher together. So as far as like expanded information, this is the time. And for Taurus, it's like you're sort of hemmed in, with the exception of Uranus being in your first house. You're hemmed in by Venus, you're hemmed in by Mercury. There is all this Rajasic energy, this passionate energy, kind of like, oh yeah, no, you need to relax, you need to have a good time, you need to have more love in your life. Oh, you need to be more creative. And then there's the other part, it's like, oh no, you need more money, you need more technology, you need to update yourself in this. And so there's all this kind of pressure on you. And I'm just like, keep a dream journal, and be able to pay off debts. Try to finish off as many things as you can. Make things nice, make things ready for what your next move is. And and some of you might be moving. A lot of people move in late spring, early summer. So there might be some resident changes and stuff. Love to hear from you though. If you're a Taurus, you watch this, love to hear from you in the comments of what's going on. Or if you're someone who's very influenced by Taurus, moon, rising sign, lots of planets there, that would help. Okay, so greetings, Gemini. This is your horoscope. We're accumulating information. We're expanding our knowledge. The information's Mercury. The knowledge is Jupiter. The Sun is like, we want to be in our heart. So we're the flavor of the month. If you're a Gemini or someone influenced by Gemini, this is your time. And happy birthday to you. I want to give a birthday shout out to my friend Flo over in Marysville, Yuba City, also to Jesse Naomi, and to Maura McGinnis, and to Darby McConnell, and so many Gemini friends having birthdays this week. Sushi Rose, all of you, may you live life fully, intently, with good news following you wherever you go. So you've got a lot of opportunity, and you're in the middle of this kind of planetary configuration. And so this is an opportunity for you to move forward. I think you'll be in the neighborhood. You'll be out partying with that moon going through Western Leo this weekend. And so it's a lot of like, ooh, life, in June, the first month of summer, it's here. And we're really enjoying these long days. And even if they are kind of hot and sweaty, it's like, hey, we're detoxing. Just drink lots of water, stay in the shade, and, rest when you need to. Well, greetings, Cancer. Welcome to your horoscope. So, this is not the easiest time of year because 12th house transits represent loss. So you might have lost some things. You might have had to let go of some things. And letting go of things is never easy, So like who would, Gemini, what season, who's it the toughest on? It's probably the toughest on Capricorn, Scorpio, and Cancer. These are all signs you're friends with, Cancer. So it's like, they're going through it because those are the signs where they're passing through Dustana houses where you kind of have to take on some challenges in order to negotiate it. And when you're not really at peace, it's best not to say anything, with Mars in going through your second house. It's like it's a good time to just be in the quiet space or be with people that really know you and really understand you during this situation. A lot of alone time. But, in the workplace, work's changed, and you probably may be taking on more responsibility with this Neptune and Saturn thing happening. Venus is still there. It's going to move in your 11th house later this week. Things are going to get better. Things are going to be lifted up. But in the meantime, you got a lot of responsibility, and people are looking up to you. Well, hello, Leo, and welcome to your horoscope. Look at this. All of this is the public. There's a lot of open space down here, and that's your personal life. Everything over here, down here is more the personal, introspective. Everything up here is kind of the public, and your relationship with others is on this side. So what I see is, Gemini time for Leo is kind of fun because it's like parties, social gatherings, older siblings, people, older friends that might be able to give you guidance. And then this is nice with Saturn, Neptune, and Venus in the 9th house, really. It's like opportunity for travel, opportunity for an exotic experience, opportunity to learn a new discipline, perhaps. All of this and more could be yours as we go through this week. You just got to be careful about what you say in some ways, and about other friends of family members that kind of come into your circle. There's some unpredictable things perhaps with that, but otherwise you're kind of raring to go. And this weekend the moon's going to be in Leo, so you're like, hey, I'm going to do this. I'm going to make this work. Let's go with Virgo in the first now. Virgo, Gemini is the other Mercury ruled sign. Gemini is more the macrocosm, and Virgo is a little more the microcosm. But Mercury is exalted in Virgo more than it is in Gemini, because there's that attention to detail, and Virgo has an association with purity, whereas it's Gemini is a little more flirtatious, perhaps, but Virgo serves people, so they obviously give people good loving. One of the things I would say about the Virgo horoscope for this week is you're engaging with others. I mean, the pressure that was on a month ago, 2 months ago, has somewhat dissipated, but there's an element of like transformation and release and things that you're not totally in control over, and it can be a little bit depressing. It's a good time for spiritual seeking though, and that if you just stay in that place, you know, reaching out to God, making donations, helping other people, what can I do to help, and not getting so obsessed in your own challenges and difficulty, things are going to move ahead really well. Well, greetings Libra, and welcome to your horoscope. So Aries, for the most part, is your partnership sign, and having Venus there along with Saturn and Neptune, it presents a partnership. Now, I highly recommend that if you're in a partnership with somebody and you're, you know, sleeping together or waking up in the same household together every morning, that you would maybe engage in a prayer practice that for your relationship and for the relationship of everyone you engage with regularly, your family members, and you share that burden to uplift them. You know, it's been scientifically proven that people that get prayed for, even if they don't believe in God or prayer, they heal quicker than those who don't get prayed for. Yeah, there has been studies on this. So, you know, couples that pray together can stay together, and it gives this thing that what we're doing is perhaps something bigger than just us being together and enjoying each other's company. And that really charges the relationship. It really makes it a better relationship overall, in my experience. I mean, Gemini time is a time for discovery. It's a time to discover other religions. It's a time to discover other cultures, other teachings, and to travel. And you're in a great place for all those things. It's another air sign. It should be uplifting. It should be positive. You should be happy. You should be feeling lucky. And even if you're not, just wait and just be thankful for what good things have happened before in your life, and make a bigger deal about them than your disappointments. Well, greetings Scorpio, and welcome to your horoscope. Everything's relationship with you right now. And I mean, it's kind of a hard place to be, because it's like there's a part of you, being a Mars ruled sign, Pluto gets in the mix there too. It's like you want to control things to an extent. And as a fixed sign, it's kind of like I don't want to budge. But it is water, you know, and water has this way of kind of lapping around and reflecting on things, emoting and dissolving things. And now that Neptune is in Aries, Saturn's in Aries, and Venus is there this week, it's like I got to work on my health. I got to work on helping others. I want to be a better worker. I want to have it together. I want to come across like I know what I'm doing and that I'm giving something back that's helping others. Your relationships by the end of the week should improve marvelously, because Venus will move into Taurus at the end of the week. So that is going to help a lot, especially since most of you Scorpios are sidereal Libras anyhow. So there's going to be a really positive shift. Now, Mars and Leo, Moon and Leo, it's a lot about your performance. Like, how do I appear? How do I show up for the world with my karma right now? How am I showing up? You know, that's a big thing. And you know, there's a lot of times it's okay to back down, like you're normally supposed to do something, but it's like, hey, I don't feel like I need to right now. I'm not really sure. That's okay. Don't give yourself a hard time. Gemini time is about transformation, but the transformation is going to be good because look, we got Jupiter and Mercury helping us to do it intelligently. Your intuition is on, and letting other people have a little bit of power, really, it's actually going to, you know, a lot of times it's nice to be the passenger rather than the driver. You get to see more of the scenery that way. Okay. Greetings Sagittarius, and welcome to your horoscope. So, all right. We want work to be like play, and we want every day to be kind of fun and to be a game if we can as Sagittarians. We've got all these planets in Aries now with Saturn and Neptune. And so what is your discipline? How does your discipline help you with your heart health, with your children? You have to discipline some of your children. Some of your children might have gotten in trouble. And I think most of us who are parents in the modern times, anyone who's raised their children anytime between the late 60s to the present time, your kids more than likely have gotten in trouble, even if it was before that, but culturally, there's a psyop that's been after young people. And they want them to do things that are not necessarily healthy for them. They'll even make it seem like unhealthy things are healthy. I mean, this is the kind of doublespeak of the world that we live in today. And if you don't recognize that, I'm sorry. I would encourage you to take a few steps back or talk to your grandparents about this, if you have grandparents, because they'll help make it clear. Now, for you, it's relationship, and relationship's about to get sweeter. And if you're in a relationship, a matter of the heart, add a little God to it, and add a little discipline of devotion and helping other people to it. That's going to make everything all the more sweeter. And then when you go into like next week, when Venus will be in Taurus and stuff in the 6th house, get yourself a nice summer outfit. Do things to make yourself look nice and to share sweetness with others. Something nice like fruits from your garden. Maybe you have a cherry tree or apricot tree that's coming on and you've got some fruit to share. I mean, my neighborhood has been mulberries and cherries, but this is a good time to share those fruits and realize that this weekend is going to be an adventure. You're going to have a good weekend, a good adventure. Greetings, Capricorn. Welcome to your horoscope. Okay, so for you, Capricorn, when we help others, we actually stimulate our own immune system. And this weekend starts out, it could be kind of romantic, it could be kind of sexy. By Sunday night, you might even be on another adventure, when the moon goes into closer to your 9th house. Saturn is now in your 4th house. So you're dealing with limits of parents. You might have aging parents. You might be in a house that needs a little bit of work on it. And you're trying to just pretty things up, make things a lot more beautiful and lovely. I totally feel this. With the moon in Western Capricorn, I'm like, yes, that is completely what's happening. And so, except for the parents part. My parents, they're with the divine now. They're with the eternal. You have a lot of services to offer. I think just anything you can do to help others is going to be helping yourself without you even realizing it. Sometimes it's hard to help ourselves, and we have a perspective because we're from the outside looking in, It's a lot easier to have someone else look at the bottom of your foot than it is for most of us, unless you're a really good yogi. And so we need each other, to get that perspective. And I think just honoring that perspective, it's a more introspective time for you as well. Well, hello, Aquarius, and welcome to your horoscope. I mean, for you, it is completely introverted, looking within, home stuff, home projects. Relationship-wise, well, this weekend could be kind of romantic as the moon moves into your 7th house. I mean, Mars is there. But when the moon aligns with Mars, peace will guide the planet. I remember Sanjay Roth, one of my Vedic astrology teachers, was saying that, when people have Mars moving through the 7th house, or it's in their 7th house, they can be a real sweetheart. They can be a total diplomat. And so, you focus on that diplomacy. And there's Saturn, Neptune, Venus in the 3rd house. This is your siblings. If you've had problems with siblings, taking a spiritual approach, taking a loving approach, you could probably resolve these problems, these conflicts during this period. Same thing with neighbors. If you're having problems with neighbors, a spiritual approach, a loving approach, you bake somebody a cherry pie or a strawberry pie because that's what you got in your garden. I mean, it's uplifting. You're doing something kind. And it's just working on that environment. If you have children and you're Aquarius, they're kind of in the focus. This is your heart. This is what you want to see succeed. You want your kids to succeed. You want them to be happy. You want your grandchildren happy. And since Jupiter's going through the 5th house, that's a karaka, an activator for the 5th house. So you're going to be doing really well. Good things are coming to you, Aquarius. And I'd say it's a dynamic week, but you're getting out of your comfort zones a little bit, and you're going to be engaging more with others. All right, winding things up this week. Greetings, Pisces. Welcome to your horoscope. So we're finishing off this whole North Node thing, this weirdness. And Saturn's left your first house. So it's like, in a lot of ways, Pisces, you're freer to be yourself now more than you've ever been. So continue to do that. Continue to be yourself. Let's look at where Jupiter's at. Jupiter's in the fourth house. So this would be fixing up your house. It's there with Mercury. Updating your lights, your electricity, that could happen. Communication, journaling. I think both for Pisces as well as Aquarius, a previous sign, a lot of writing things down is very helpful. Mercury is Mars rather is in the sixth house. So Mars in the sixth house encourages us to exercise and get in shape. It's best to do that in the cool of the morning or in a cooler evening time when you're not, having the sun beating down on you this time of year. The focus, though, for you is like your ancestry, your home life, the place where you live. How can we make it look better? How can we be kinder to each other? Do I have quiet time while I'm alone? What kind of messages am I getting while I'm in my house? Are there young people, students visiting me? These type of things could also be a part of it. And learning how to speak a spiritual language like Sanskrit or Hebrew or some of the yogic terms, that could be a part of it too. Just dealing with having a flexible neck and shoulders, that could be part of your situation as well. And allowing yourself to move, allowing yourself to dance. And this is it. This is the horoscope for this week for June 30th through the May 30th through the 6th of June, 2025. I appreciate you. Thank you for being here. Thanks for your comments and saying hi to Shan and hi to John and Colleen, my wonderful neighbors, my lovely people. I look forward to being with you next week. We'll do this again. Namaste.